Don't just use the last 10 days of Ramadan for yourself. Disclaimer, I am not a scholar. These are just my own personal tips and I hope you find it helpful. So the first tip is make dua in the language that you most understand. Oftentimes you find Muslims who are not Arabic speakers trying to make their du'as in Arabic, and by doing so they are not able to communicate well with Allah. They are not able to really pour their heart out to Allah. If you are a non-Arabic speaker and if you are, let's say you understand Swahili better, by all means make your dua in Swahili, because Allah hears and knows all languages. So if Swahili is the language of your communication that you can communicate better, ask Allah in Swahili. Don't say that I have to ask Allah in Arabic. I don't think there is any rule that says that you have to ask Allah in Arabic. So for me, the tip is that I make dua in the language that I am more comfortable with. Like I speak 3 languages. I speak Hausa, Yoruba and English. I don't understand Arabic much except for just few words. So if I'm to make dua in Arabic, I'll be struggling. I won't be able to make dua. I won't be able to even pour my heart out. So I make dua in, sometimes I even combine all 3 languages while making dua, because making dua, especially during the last 10 days of Ramadan, you want to be vulnerable, you want to pour your heart out to Allah. And if you are struggling with the language, then you will not be able to really get the most of it. So my number one tip is to really make dua in the language that you most understand, that you can speak fluently, because Allah understands all languages. Make sure that you're making your dua, because you have more advantage. You have the words to praise Allah, you have the words to ask Allah better than trying to just look for Arabic words or Arabic dua to make dua for yourself. And sometimes is how would I be repeating a dua? Maybe I memorize a dua, and then I'm just repeating the dua and I don't really understand the meaning much. Maybe yes, I've been told the meaning, but the meaning did not really, I did not understand the meaning well. So if I'm reciting a dua that I don't really understand the meaning well, it will just be as if I'm repeating something I don't understand or I don't believe in. I'm not saying that you should not make dua in Arabic or you should not recite some azkar or some of the known duas that the Prophet especially prescribed, especially during the last 10 days of Ramadan. But make sure that if you are making especially your personal dua, make sure that you are saying it, you're asking Allah in the language that you most understand, because that way there is nothing like language barrier. So ask Allah in the language that you're most comfortable with, because Allah understands all languages. The second tip is repetition. Like repeat your dua, repeat your dua, repeat your dua. Like repetition does not mean that Allah did not hear you the first time, or the repetition does not mean that you have to say it multiple times before Allah can hear you. It just gives it more credibility, it just make it more solid. It even give you more confidence that you know you are asking from Allah and He's going to give you. So you repeat and you repeat and you repeat because you are in need. So that repetition is more like making making it stable, making it solid, that yes, you are asking and asking and asking from the Lord who gives. So always make sure that you repeat your dua, especially the most important your dua, your personal dua, that you feel like yes, this is the chance for you to really ask Allah, so that you have the chance of getting your dua answered. So make sure that you repeat your dua. The third tip is being more specific with your dua. Make your dua in a ridiculously simple way. Like be more specific, be more clear what you are asking Allah. Even though Allah knows all the things that you want, all the things that you desire, and all the things that you need, and even before you say it out, He knows. But you have to give yourself that belief that you are asking Allah this. You are not asking Allah in a general time. You are more specific, because you know that if you give Allah more details, it's going to give you that and even more. So instead of saying like, Ya Allah, give me spouse, say is more general, be more specific. Let's say, Ya Allah, I desire to get married this year. Ya Allah, give me a good spouse. Give me a spouse that will be a comforter to me, that will be a support to me, a spouse that will be a zawjun salih to me, and I mar'atu salihah to him. Give me a spouse that will be good to each other till Jannah. Give me a spouse that will be a good father to our children. Give me a spouse that will be supportive of me, that will protect me, that will build a house, a very beautiful, peaceful house with mawadda and sakina. So be more specific. If you're asking Allah for let's say money, instead of Ya Allah, give me money, be more specific. Ya Allah, make me wealthy. Ya Allah, make me financially independent, such that I do not ask anybody anything, or I do not reduce myself to begging people or asking from other people. Bless the business I'm doing, or bless my job and increase my risk. Ya Allah, give me risk, give me money, so that I will be financially independent, so that I will be able to take care of myself and my needs. I'll be able to take care of my parents, and so and so and so. So be more and more specific when you are asking Allah, especially in the last 10 days of Ramadan. Yes, it's okay to ask the general, because you know Allah understands, even if you do not say it out, even if you do not utter it out. But it's more beautiful to be more specific. Even if it is children you want to give birth, don't just say, Ya Allah, give me children. Be more specific, like ask the qualities, the good qualities you want in your children. So always be more specific when you are asking your personal dua. And the fourth tip is to pray for others. Sometimes we are being a little bit selfish, so we tend to just ask Allah for just ourselves. We tend to just make dua for ourselves. So make sure that you make dua for others. Like, start with your parents. If they are alive, pray for them. Even if they are late, pray for them. Pray for your siblings if you have any. Pray for your loved ones, pray for your friends, for strangers. You don't need to or have to be more specific when you are praying for all of them, especially for strangers and all that. But for your parents, for your siblings, for your loved ones, also try as much as possible to be more specific for them, especially if you know that they are suffering from something, or they are in need of something. Maybe someone is sick, so, and you know about it. So make sure that you pray for them to get health, for them to be better. Pray for your community, pray for your country, pray for the Muslim Ummah, pray for the peace of the world, for security, especially in areas that are struggling with insecurity and all that. So always make sure that you pray for others. Don't just use the last 10 days of Ramadan for yourself. The dua that you're making for yourself and the dua you're making for others, Allah is going to reward you for praying for others. So if you know someone that you know is suffering from something and you remember it, so make sure that you pray, put it in your own prayers, so that Allah is going to reward you for praying for others. So for me, I always make sure that I dedicate a particular time praying for my parents, especially my siblings. Sometimes I will call their name one by one and pray for them. And my friends, especially those that I know that are in need of something, those that are suffering from infertility, those that are looking for spouse, and I make sure that I call their name. Not always, but whenever I have time, I make sure that I pray for them. The last tip is to pray for Dunya and Akhira. Oftentimes we get so overwhelmed with praying for Dunya. I want this, I want to achieve that, and I want so many things, that we end up forgetting to pray for the Akhira, for like when we die, for Jannah and all that. So make sure that you balance the two. Why you, yes, you're going to pray for your personal prayers, making dua for this dunya. Don't forget to make dua for Akhira. Make sure that you allocate time to pray for your Akhira. Don't just pray for dunya alone. And the last bonus tip I want to share is that this tip is just my particular preference. I like to write my dua. I like to write my dua in a piece of paper, in a book, so that to help me whenever before I even wake up for tahajjud, I'll revise them so that I will not forget anything. So if you are someone that feel like, yes, you want to write your dua so that you do not forget it, it's okay. I hope you find all of these tips valuable. Thank you for watching my video, and may Allah accept all of our du'as this Ramadan and beyond.